I guess I could give some music.
There you
Hello,
go.
everybody. You're joining. You're like, what is this? Ira doesn't just go live, does he? Every once in a while, I do. So, welcome as we're getting the crowd to show up. I just want to kind of introduce what we're going to be talking about. We're having this really cool event that I'm excited to be a little bit of a part of it. I'm going to be taking photos, so that's kind of neat. And my friend, Dr. Julie Ducharme, who's with me, is going to talk about it in great detail. We want to do a couple things. We want to let the world know about this event. I want to invite you to get your ticket and join if you would be so kind to do that. But then also, we are looking for some event sponsors. So there's an opportunity to maybe join in the fun. And, oh, don't that view quite yet. Jump the gun, sorry. Hang on. It's kind of an interesting view, though, isn't it? Oh, my computer froze. There we go. All right, we'll get to that in a second. I'm actually going to share a different screen, and then I'll come back to that one. It's been a minute. I haven't gone live, Julie. I haven't gone live in a couple, I want to say like 6 weeks. It's been a minute. I was going live quite a bit, and I decided to take a little bit of a break from going live.
That's okay. Going live's tough. It's tough. We do a lot of pre-record stuff because it's tough.
Yeah, well, it takes time, right? And
yeah.
Honestly, I want to serve things that my audience is interested in. So here's the big one we'll share. Just make it fit the screen. There we go. Okay, so this is what we're going to be talking about today. If you are joining us live, go ahead and tell us in the comments where you are from. Normally, I make kind of a big game out of that. I didn't do that this time, but I promise you, if you comment in the comments, we'll get your name up on the screen and give you a little extra visibility in front of the audience as well. But Dr. Julie Ducharme, welcome to my channel live. Again, it's not like a fancy show title or anything like that, but I want to introduce you because obviously we want to talk about this event. You are helping to organize it. You have a partner, so we can talk about that too. But before we get into that, let us switch screens just one more time. And if you want to give everybody just like maybe 60-second intro into who you are and kind of your background. I know that's tough in 60 seconds. But
Well, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I own multiple companies. Synergy Learning Institute's Technical Vocational College, which is a nonprofit school that supports veterans and part of this big event we're going to talk about. I have a consulting company that is, I think, about 20 years old. So we started out doing basic business plans. Now we're a full digital media company, academic stuff. We do a lot. And then, of course, I have my first company I started, which is near and dear to my heart, is my kids' entertainment company. It's 23 years old. And we started out doing superheroes and princesses, and now we have a full equipment line. And then I have a baby company that I started during COVID called Taylor Elite Sports, and that is working on producing unique sports equipment for athletes in different industries. But that's my baby. It's just very little. And my passion is supporting. I love to support everyone, but obviously I specialize in women's empowerment, supporting our veterans. And we have one of the few veteran programs in the nation called Combat Boots to Heels, which supports women veterans transitioning out of the military that we're very proud of. So that's kind of like me in 60 seconds.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot. We could spend a whole show just unpacking the 60 seconds of things that you just said, because my friend, you are one of the most impressive people that I know. And I love working with you on any of your projects. You were very kind to bring me in, not only for the SheTalks. I helped with that in San Diego and Houston. And actually, let me do this. Let me bring that up real fast so people have an idea of what we're talking about. Talking about SheTalks is an event. It's a live event that you do to help raise money for veterans, right?
Yes.
And it's female veterans specifically in the events, but the money goes to help everybody. But let let me share this part because I this was really my introduction to you, right? We didn't
Yeah,
know each other, and then we did know each other pretty fast because of
right.
The San Diego event. Let me
Yeah,
drop.
you just and I mean, I do have to say, I mean, you didn't even know me, we talked and you showed up, and I was just, like, so impressed because a lot of times people will say they're gonna show up and they never do, and so I was really impressed and you came, like, full I mean, just
Ready
cameras
to
and lights and everything, and it was yeah, and we met, and then we just hit it off from there because we had so many, I think, things that we love to do and passions, and
yeah.
so and,
Well, and your husband and I have a lot in common. So,
yes, yes,
like,
yes.
we hit it off. Like, I have a man crush on your husband. Anyways, this is the picture after the event was over. So, actually, what you're seeing here is not the full crowd because there were a lot of people who had to go,
Yeah.
because we went a little bit long that day. But this was in Houston back in March. And
Mhm,
so you have this circuit, I think is the right word, right? So
mhm,
it goes on the road and it travels.
mhm,
Anyways, so this event that we're doing is partly this, but
mhm.
it's also more. So stay tuned for that, y'all. But
Yeah.
like what I do, like, hey, Ira, how do you fit? I'm not a woman. I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? I make the world's ugliest woman, I think. But anyways, um, what do? I do photos of the event. So like the crowd stuff, and then I have a station where people could get their headshots, and actually
Mhm,
donated that for this because I
mhm,
love to support veterans too. So I did that. But then if y'all want to see this pictures, here's one of your business partners. In fact, she's one
mhm.
of your oldest business partners, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So all kinds of photos. That's what I do. I'm going to be now at this event. I think we're going to have multiple photographers, from what I understand. But anyways, that's the part that I do for this. Is I come in and help record it. The photo part. Your husband
Mhm.
and his team are doing the video.
Yeah,
So it's a large event that we're doing. But if people go like, Ira, what's your Women Gone Wild Wealth Book Launch and She Talks Red Carpet event? How
yeah.
do you fit in that, Ira?
I know, and let's just get the elephant out of the room. If you're
Yeah,
our
please.
age, you're thinking Women
Yeah.
Gone Wild 1990s. It's not that, I promise you.
Yeah,
It
I'm
is it is
talking
a
to a couple of
PG
Christians here. We're
yeah,
not.
yeah,
It's
it's
not.
a
There's no
PG
beads.
event.
There are no beads. This is not Mardi Gras. We're not interested in that.
No, no, no. And actually, WILD stands for this is Rhonda Swan's group. It stands for Wealth, Intuition, Leadership, and Diversity. So we have speakers in each one of those areas. So yes, I know it's a little play on words there, but I think it gets everyone's attention. And Rhonda Swan, who has this amazing book series that's going on, we connected. And just like I have a passion for empowering women and creating a network to support each other, along with our women veterans, she did it as well. And since they're doing a book launch the same day in the same town, we thought this is a perfect marriage for us
Yeah.
to do this. So
So we've
so
got
yeah, so
the
we'll get
website.
that out of the way.
Yeah, we got the website up here a little bit. Women Gone Wild Wealth book launch. She Talks Red Carpet Extravaganza. If you're interested in finding this website, I'm gonna put this. Oh, and I was remiss. I didn't do that either. Happy birthday, Julie. Which it was not today. It was actually yesterday, right?
It was Wednesday. Yeah.
Wednesday.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we're a couple days old, but here we
It's
go.
okay.
Gonna be exciting event for sure.
I
My
think
good
James is
friend.
coming. I see James popping up. Hey,
Yeah.
James.
I
I
actually
think
was
he's
just
coming.
talking to him earlier, and in full disclosure, I was half an hour late to a half-hour meeting with James today. So, James, again, I apologize, brother. But Sabrina is one of my good buddies. She says, "Hello, everybody. It sounds like a great, empowering event." Absolutely, it is. And first of all, it's my pleasure to do whatever I can to help veterans, and Julie does the same. So, the She Talks event really is because your partner is a veteran, right? So,
Yeah, Dr. Karen Walker, who's a co-founder of this, she is a 22 or 23. She's going to get me on that one. Retired Marine. And, Karen has a great story because, she was a high ranking officer with a PhD in the military. She's brilliant. And when she went to transition out, everyone said, oh my gosh, you're going to get a job. It's not going to be a problem. You have all these skills, you have your PhD. And as the story goes, what she told me is it was one of the toughest years of her life. She couldn't find a job and she really had to shift her mentality. And what Karen realized was, hey, if I've got a PhD and all these skills and everything, and I'm transitioning out and I'm struggling, like what's happening with my fellow sisters? And something that she pointed out, which I think is really important, is obviously men and women have different psyches in the way that they deal with things. Karen's an organizational psychologist, and she said that women have different needs when they're transitioning out. And many programs, although fantastic, do lean more towards what men need when transitioning out than women. And so what Karen did is being an organizational psychologist and a Marine, she crafted this program, Combat Boots to Heels, to really help women focus on that mental transition. Now, the program's expanded, so we don't just do that anymore. We help with resumes, interviews, we provide clothing to women anywhere in the United States. If they call me and they need business clothing, we get it to them. We help provide sometimes babysitting services if they need to go to an interview. We're working on
They
building
might
this.
have 8 kids. They need a little help watching.
Yeah, they might need, some might have 8 kids, but we're also this is a baby program that we're working on. We're working on building out something called Pantry Heroes, and we're trying to build that across the, and people will just collect things in their pantry, as we say, for when we have those moments. We received a call from a woman veteran who'd lost her job. She had a newborn child, and she was scrambling to figure out how to pay rent and how to get food and all of that. And we were able to step in and help her. And we realized, not just here in San Diego, but all across the US, we need to do this. So that's the next program we're doing, is building out, we call our Pantry Heroes, and just asking people to keep a few extra things in their garage
Yeah.
for those moments, or disasters. But we're really proud of this program because there's only a handful of really women veteran focused programs out there. And what we're doing is really going beyond, just the here, can we just, give you a little something.
Yeah.
And a lot of
Help
people
us
don't.
make you we're gonna feel better about ourselves because we gave you this little trifle
Right.
of whatever.
Right. And what we're trying to do is really give something that's long lasting, right? Something that's transferable. A lot of people don't know this, but women veterans have one of the highest homeless rates and highest suicide rates in the nation right now. And it went higher during COVID.
Mhm.
And you don't see women veterans on the street. And so a lot of times I call them our forgotten heroes, and not in any way to minimize our male counterparts.
Yeah,
Every,
right.
every veteran is amazing. But we're just trying to fill that gap for the women there with that. And so, yeah, Karen's done a great job. She's been a wonderful intermediary for when we get calls and someone doesn't know, what do I do with my paperwork? How do I file this? What does this code mean? She's great. So she's actually dean over our veteran program, and steps in, and we all have other jobs, so we all do this as a passion project. We don't
Yeah.
get paid for it.
Yeah. You're doing it for
So
the love, right?
yeah.
Which is why I participate, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I wanna make look, I mean, as a photographer in this, it's hard to make an impact up, other than the photos, but, I try to do whatever I can with the photos, which is why I set up the landing pages on my websites to help promote it.
But those photos are so impactful because you have to remember too, women in general, we're pretty tough on ourselves. We don't always give ourselves the credit we need. We don't think about putting ourselves first and going and taking a great headshot or something that really shows who we are. And your pictures, what I love about them is they show the absolute joy in
Yeah.
these women when they take
Try.
the pictures,
Try.
and they look so beautiful and so happy, and they can take those pictures now and go, you know what? I've got something that really represents me. And so I think every little part helps. I mean, when we talk about sponsorship, I mean, every little part, when someone says, hey, can I just check someone in for you at the event? It's like, yes.
Yeah, 'cause we
Yes.
need that, or we have to pay somebody, and then what
Right.
happens, Julie, I'm gonna do some of your dirty work for you here because, this is what I know to be true. I run a nonprofit as well.
Mhm.
When people don't volunteer, right? So there are several groups here. There are businesses that can do something. There are individuals that have extra money or funds that can do something, and there's people that don't, but they have time that they can donate. And it all helps because whatever you don't get covered by a volunteer that has to be done, then you have to pull out of the money that was donated to cover that expense. That's just the
Mhm.
reality to run an event like this. It takes a whole host of people. It's not like me, you, and your husband. There's going to be 100 people there doing stuff, right? And
Mhm.
so some of those things are critical, like security and like, the photography and checking people in, right? All
Yeah.
those things. You got to have people to help guide the talent that's coming.
Mhm.
There's all kinds of incredible speakers coming, which we haven't even got to that yet. But, that all has to be done. and
Mhm.
putting together the gift bags and all, I mean, just, oh my gosh, the
Yeah.
list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
People running the website, people, all that stuff
Mhm.
that nobody even really thinks about. You just show up and you think it just happens. Like, no, this was being planned for months and months. I think you and I first talked about this event like 2.5, 3 months ago. So
Mhm.
I know you've been working on it at least that long.
Yeah, and this is actually a fast turnaround for us. We normally try and give ourselves at least 4 months, but when I met Rhonda Swan and I saw what they were doing and, we're just creating a sisterhood, and I got to meet several of her authors on Zoom because 'cause they're all around the world, and it was so tremendous to sit on a Zoom with these women that I don't know and just us connect instantly, and that's what this is about. It's about supporting each other. We've created a platform where we welcome any women who want to come and speak to use that platform. And once again, one of the toughest things about women is a lot of women don't think they're worthy. They don't think they're
Yeah.
worthy to speak. They don't think they're worthy of being on a platform. This isn't about being famous. This isn't about having tons of people who follow you on social media. This is just about coming, being transparent, and sharing your story in a way that you can help and empower others. And that's what it's always been about.
This,
And of
this is
course,
your,
we
this is
yeah,
the
this is Rhonda right here. Yeah. Yeah, they're actually in Bali, all the way in Bali. So, but they're coming out here this way. And Rhonda's got a great story too. If you guys get a chance to go look, go to her social media. Fantastic story about she faced what every woman faced when she didn't want to put her kid in daycare. And she was trying to find a way to, be able to work and at the same time, create that family environment. I ran into that as a woman CEO. So she's a great story. So make sure you go check out everything that Rhonda is doing with the Wild book series because it's
I
really amazing.
I absolutely love this. I didn't realize the WILD was an acronym, so I'm just going to go back to that for a second. So WILD doesn't stand for, again, this isn't the other thing that you're thinking of from the 90s, because that's honestly what I thought of when I first heard it. I'm like, well, that doesn't
us,
sound like
us
Doc.
old people think about it.
That doesn't sound like the Dr. Julie Ducharme that I know,
No,
right?
no.
So wild is, the W is wealth, the I is intuition, the L is leadership, and the D is diversity. And I'm telling you, those are good things. So it's
Well,
an acronym, wild, not go
yeah.
crazy,
Well,
right?
and on this too, let me tell you the people who are attached to that. So Sharon Lecter is under our wealth division. Some of the books Sharon's very well known for is being a co-author on Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but
Mhm.
she's put out countless books on finances and she's a huge educator of people in the world of money. And something very important for women is that we very often, this is cultural, we do not understand or get involved in the wealth side of our lives like we should. So
Yeah.
I'm really, really excited for her to be here. Her books are impactful. For intuition, if you know Chicken Soup for the Soul, Diane Wentworth, Chicken Soup for the Soul, as long as one of her memoirs, I think, was changed into a movie. Just met her the other day. Fantastic, fantastic woman. And then I
That's
was
an
really
incredible book. I'm looking forward to meeting her, by the way.
yeah,
So,
she's just lovely. I'm so excited. She's gonna be in our She CEO talks.
can I
Um,
tell you one of the advantages of being the photographer is I do get to meet everybody?
yes,
I
yes.
love that part.
So, well, and then the other part, two friends of mine that I am so excited are coming under leadership and diversity is Justine Siegel, first woman to coach in the MLB,
Oh, yeah.
Jen Welter, the first woman to coach in the NFL and now XFL that
Yeah,
she
come
just
on.
finished.
Come
They're
on.
going to be they're under leadership diversity, and then of course I think you've met Dr. Kameen Samuels, who is the first African American female helicopter pilot for the Navy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just the first set of women. I mean, that's not even the other
Look, you
16.
have introduced me to a lot of really cool people, my friend. I mean, that's why whenever you ask for my help, if it's at all possible, I'm always in, right? My
You
default.
came last minute to help me with Lee Steinberg, so yeah, that was
Which was
fun.
one of my favorite event I've done this year, honestly. I had so much fun hanging out with you and the team, and then the day of the event, Coach Stone is an incredible, uh, like,
He's fun.
first of all, he's a personality,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
he's a
So the
personality.
Chicago, like, if you understand what Chicago means, he's all Chicago, right?
Yeah,
But that what do I want to say? The day, the event, the way
mhm,
he ran the camp
mhm,
was so well thought out. And He wasn't like a drill sergeant in people's face screaming at them, and you know what I mean? He commanded respect in a different way, but I mean, I just the way they set it up, the way they ran executed, like he was able to communicate with me what he wanted as far as the way of photography, and I was able to get all the shots that he was looking for because the communication was so well. So
Yeah, yeah, he's great. Well, you also came in the rain to help me shoot a video with Lee Steinberg at his office, so,
yeah,
you jumped in on that one and saved me too. So,
yeah.
that was
I'm
fun,
like
and you
I'm
took
like your emergency parachute, but that's all right.
yeah, you're awesome. So, but yeah, I mean, I think something about this, it's a tremendous amount of work that we put in, but really, like, if I could share, we had a woman one time that after an event came up to me and said, I was thinking about committing suicide and I've changed my mind now that I've listened to these women.
Yeah.
And so, it's that type of impact that's I was like, okay, if we've impacted one person, we're in. And we get emails constantly that people don't see a lot of times that are very personal, that
Yeah.
we're not able to share, but it's like, this is what I needed, this is my moment. And then of course we have some amazing women that we can just brag about all day long about what they're doing for this event. But I'm really excited because we have two youth. The two youngest youth ever to speak at our conference is going to be my daughter, who is 14. She's a new author, soon to be a business owner, at 14, and she's speaking on how to be an unstoppable teenager. And Rhonda Swan's daughter, who just turned 16, will be speaking there as well. She's been owned a business since she was, I think, 11. Rhonda said,
Wow.
and traveling and speaking. But
5 years of business ownership experience at 16 is pretty impressive.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and the reason why I really wanted these young women to come in is because we have been inviting more and more young women to our event. As I mentioned, it's PG,
Yeah.
on purpose, because we see that the next generation of youth, young women, need this
Well,
just as much as we need it.
you know that my daughter, who was struggling, if you guys are curious about my daughter, that this is the one that was sick, and she was helping me as an assistant before she got sick in the photography realm. This is going to be the first event that she's back at helping me as an assistant, but I specifically kind of pushed a little bit,
Mhm.
to get ready for it because I want her to be impacted and see. Look, I was telling you this on the phone before we jumped on live, right? I have 5 daughters. Everybody knows I have 8 kids. I'm pretty sure by this point it's not shocking anymore, but I have 5 daughters of the 8, right? I don't want them to ever feel like they're limited in what they can accomplish or succeed in life just because right? They're a woman, right? Like
Mhm.
your superpower is not determined by your gender. I
Mhm.
hope the world understands that, but I certainly want to help communicate that and highlight that to my own daughters, if not everybody else's too. But
Right.
what I would love to do if we can, because I know you've got to run in 25 minutes.
Mhm.
So what I would love to do is just walk through, and I'm going to pull up the eBright page in just a second here. In fact, I've got it up, so let me share it. But I would like to just go through what the event actually is, how
Mhm.
much it costs to attend it. Because if you're watching this and you're anywhere able to get to Southern California, it's in Los Angeles directly. There, it is paid admission because this is honestly, this is an expensive event to put on. Like this is much bigger than just the normal She Talks, and those are expensive to put on. This is more than that because we got more going on with VIP event and all this stuff. So
Mhm.
I would love to just talk about from those who are looking at it who might want to attend the event. Like
Yeah,
what is it? What
absolutely.
can they expect? Day of show, what's happening, when it's happening, and we've got a timeline here on the Eventbrite page. So it's Women Gone Wild She Talks,
Mhm.
combining the two events into one big event. So if
Right.
we can talk about this a little bit, like the where and the what timeline.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So the first part of our event is Rhonda Swan's group doing a book signing at Barnes and Noble. You can get to that address on the website that we've shared, and that's going to be from 11 to 1. And so I believe
Is that
8.
on the homepage? I want to get to that.
I think, let's see, you're on Rhonda's page now, so you got to go back to put the slash she talks on there.
Oh, sorry, my
Yeah.
bad. My bad.
No, but that's okay. So that's going to be the first part of the day, which will be really fun. They're going to do book signings. They're going to do a panel. As we mentioned, people like Diane Wentworth are going to be there from Chicken Soup from the Soul. Just a really great time to connect with them. Especially if you're planning to go to the event, you may not get a lot of one-on-one time once the event happens.
Yeah.
Um, After
So
that,
this is like the book signing type.
Yeah.
First
So
event.
that's the book signing. And then the next part of it is a red carpet event. So that means, yes, you get to get dressed up really fun and fancy. The red carpet, so there's a couple rules with that. So 3:30 to 4:30 is the red carpet meet and greet. So that's where all of our big VIPs will be coming in, not just our speakers, but other VIPs, celebrities, musicians, authors, professional athletes who have paid a VIP fee to be part of it because they want to support us. And so they'll be walking the red carpet, which will give you a chance to see them. Now, if you just want to attend the event, if you're any form of military, so that's active, veterans, mil spouse, military kids, it's $75 for general admission. If
Okay.
you are a civilian, it's 100. And if you want to be part of the VIP experience, which means you get to sit with all the VIPs, you get to go to an after party with them, you get to walk the red carpet with them.
You might get your photo taken with them by, yours truly.
Yep. Yeah, you will. We'll have all that stuff there. If you really want that experience, then that's a $1,500 ticket. But I will say it's worth every penny you're paying, because not only are you going to get appetizers, VIP, all that stuff in the beginning, but then you get your own private party with them afterwards.
Yeah.
So if you're like, man, I just want to talk with Sharon Lechter because I think she's amazing, that's when you're going to get to do it. Because once they do get into the general session, they will be in a VIP section, which you won't be able to get to them.
Right. You won't have access to them. Let me interject one thing real quick. A lot of people don't know how to take something like that and utilize it after the event. Like, what do I do with it? Let me give you a clue for watching this show and supporting us. I want to give you a free tip, all right? If you can get a photo with a famous person, you want to put it on something. I call them media kits. Other people call them different things.
Mhm.
But you can take these photos and you can put them on your media kit. And what does that do? That helps to elevate your visibility and your status with people when you meet. So you're pitching as a speaker, or pitching yourself as, to go on a podcast event or whatever. You get yourself some photos with people that are famous or that have done
Mhm.
famous things, like me and one of these former football players that I was able to take a picture with,
Mhm.
at your event, and you put
Mhm.
them on your media kit, and that's a way that you can elevate your own status. So I didn't want to
Yeah.
hog the I didn't
Well,
hog the
no,
internet.
there's nothing wrong with that. Let me just, to any women who are aspiring to be speakers, who are wanting to grow their business, who are wanting to grow their brand, which there's nothing wrong with that, ladies. So just, I want you to think for a moment. A lot of times people get shamed if they try and get a speaking or do that. No, no, no. There's nothing wrong with that. And we're a big supporter of that. So like
Yeah.
all these women who are part of this event, we don't just do speaking. Like we are all about leveraging business and networking opportunities. And the reason why we have the VIP tickets is because that is a great opportunity. You're going to be in a room with 25 VIPs that are just the ones you know about. There's going to be some other VIPs that we haven't announced yet that are going to
Can't
be in
talk
there
about
that,
yet. Right.
yeah, that I can't talk about yet, but if they're there, oh my gosh. But you never know what one conversation will do
Yeah.
for you. And that's what's impactful now. My friends have a funny saying, because I don't care. Like I will walk up and talk to anyone. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be the most famous person in the world, and I will talk to them. And then afterwards I'll say, can I get your cell phone number so we can connect later? And they usually say yes. So if you're looking at this from a perspective, wow, how can I become a speaker? How could I get into this? Maybe I can meet some VIPs. Yeah, this is your chance to do that. And there's nothing wrong to leverage that. So I hope for those of you who have businesses and you're like, I always get the question, Ira, what's the ROI on this for
Yeah.
me?
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a good question. Are you going to make millions off of your talk? Probably not. Who
Yeah.
does make millions off talk? Are you going to make millions off of a book publication?
Probably
Probably
not.
not. All of that is used as a way to promote and support what you're doing. But the ROI in this is relationships. And
Yep.
that's what it comes down to. Because 3 years ago, I met a Hollywood producer at a veteran event. We exchanged info. We maybe talked for 30 minutes. Since that time, he has been nothing but a huge supporter. And he is a pretty big name Hollywood producer. Can't really share his name. But that person has been impactful in my life from the background. And it was a 30-minute conversation. He heard about my passion with veterans. I heard about his passion with veterans. We now support each other, and it's awesome. And so that's what I think the ROI is on this. If you're
Yeah.
looking to make a ton of money, That's not how you make money, right? Your
No,
ROI
you
is
use
going to come
these
from your
tools
network.
use these tools to help get you in the room.
Right.
It gets you in the room, you build the relationships, and then from there, business flows when people figure out they like you, right? And
Right.
you build it's a budding friendship.
Because
There's no
business,
doubt.
yeah, business is really about relationship, guys. It really is.
Yeah.
I very rarely have to advertise any of my businesses. I would say like 95% of my businesses are referral based. Now, I've been in business for 23, 24 years, but if you build a good reputation, then that's where your business is going to blossom because your customers aren't the one-time customers. They're the repeat customers that come back over and over. I have my events company. I had a mom who literally was with us for 16 years. And when her son turned 16, I was like, I'm running out of things for your son because he's getting too old for our business. And she'd say, but I just love working with you guys. You just do such a good job, and that was probably our last year we worked with them. But can you imagine that someone stays with your company for 16 years? Like that's amazing. And so
Well,
when you guys think about ROI, that's at least from my 23 years of experience in business, that is what this is about.
imagine meeting somebody that has access to Hollywood, right? They're a famous person. They know all the folks behind the shield, and you're not in that space, which frankly, I am not, right? Like that's not I live close to Hollywood, but I don't, I'm not in that world. So I do media stuff for businesses,
Mhm,
not for Hollywood production. You know what I mean?
mhm,
But going to an event like this, especially with a VIP ticket and getting the ability to talk to them and know them, now all of a sudden they get to know what I do. And look at what you're doing. This is just an example. So Julie and I became friends. She knows what I do. I've worked with her now a few times. I don't have to tell her what I do. And frankly, when she needs help, she will reach out to me. Why? Because we're friends now. You know what I mean? Like if you go in with the idea like it's just about what can I sell at that moment, you're missing a
mhm,
golden opportunity. Because if you go in with the idea like, hey, I just want to get to know them a little bit, and how hopefully they'll get to know me. When they can see you as a person, and like you're not there as a meal ticket, right? Like how can I scrape something off of them, right? Because that's what they feel used a lot of
mhm,
times by people. Like, they just like me because I'm famous. Like, but if you can get to meet people inside, outside, whatever, that they now know who you are.
mhm,
The biggest thing I always say is, it isn't about what you said because they're going to forget, but they will remember how you made them feel. So make them
mhm,
feel like you value them as a person. Then watch what happens. My business life has changed over the last 2 years because I've been blessed to be in a lot of rooms with a lot of I don't want to say famous people per se, but they're high impact
mhm,
players, right? They're MVPs,
mhm.
and
Yeah.
if you have the means to go to an event like this, I strongly suggest you do. Even if you can't go VIP, just be there. Like she said, $75 for active military or veterans. So if you've
Mhm,
ever served, you get a little discount.
mhm,
General public, $100, and then the VIP ticket, $1,500. So let's talk about the event itself. What are they actually doing? So you're going to have the book signing. So
yeah,
the book authors are going to go there. You can buy the
mhm,
book. If you don't have it,
mhm,
maybe bring a copy of book, but they will
mhm.
sign it. Then the speaking event is what? What can they
Right.
expect here?
Yeah, so we'll walk the red carpet, we'll have some hors d'oeuvres and drinks, and then we'll go on in. We will have a portion of it speaking. As I mentioned, some of the you can go to the page and see all the speakers on there, which each one will be in each area: wealth, intuition, leadership, diversity.
Let me
Um,
pull that up. Let me pull that up while you do that.
yeah.
So, um, in this section, is that
Mhm,
where I
right.
have
So yeah, we'll have speaking, but we're also, I don't want to forget, Jessica Muse from American Idol is putting on a concert as well. So we're going to have a concert at the end of this, and she's fantastic. Google her, check her out online. She has, she's come to several of our events. She's donated her time. I think this is her third time donating her time once again. And same thing. I mean, every time someone donates a performance or they donate something, that's money out of their pocket. That's time out of their pocket. That's events that she's missing and not making money at. And I'm pretty sure she actually skipped out on an event that she could have done very well at to support us. And so that's so impactful to me because I know that, every time someone misses an opportunity to make money, that affects them. And
Right.
so she's going to be putting on a concert and I mean, she's fantastic, guys. I love it when she sings Pumped Up Kicks. Go look that up online. Uh, Also, she is one of the most down to earth, amazing people I've ever met. Just such a great heart. So, you'll get a chance to,
I'm scrolling through these speakers.
yeah,
There's a lot of powerful
yeah. We've
people
got
coming.
some great speakers. Grace Green right here that you see. She's a helicopter pilot, did 3 tours in, I believe, Iraq and Afghanistan. She's now a CEO of a big company in Alaska. We just recently met through a friend, and it's been so exciting. Corey, I met through Amelia Antonetti. She's just fantastic. She is in the world of construction on all these different levels, which is so awesome for diversity. Andrea Bell and I haven't got to meet face to face yet, and same with Luba, but we've met via online, and they're both tremendous women as well.
I met Luba. In fact, I don't want to spill the beans, but I think you're planning an event with her later this year, right?
Yeah, we're doing Women in Tech SheTalks, which is
Yeah.
going to be very exciting as well. We're starting to diversify our SheTalks into themed industries. And Arena right here, she was on the X Factor. She's going to be singing a few songs for us as well. So I want to ask her how Simon Cowell was on the X
Yeah.
Factor. And then Shelby Joe Long, of
Our
course.
buddy Shelby. Yeah.
Yeah, Shelby.
Shelby was at the
Houston.
event in Houston.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she is fantastic too. She has an amazing story of resilience, and so she's going to be super fun as well. But yeah, it's I'm so exciting because, like I said, we got a jam-packed night. We're also going to have a short panel with some women veterans, which we're going to talk to them about life as a transitioning veteran. So we'll have a short panel on that. We also are possibly going to have a female astronaut drop in. I can't drop the name of that person yet because of
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. I wish we could because that's a good name. But
I
anyway,
know, I know. I'm
and
holding up for
I'm gonna
final
share
approval.
I'm gonna
So,
share this link one more time. If you guys have been watching or you're watching it
yeah.
later on the recording and you want to go to this website yourself, find all the information.
Oh, and here's one more idea, guys. If you can't attend, you can gift someone with a ticket. So you can reach out to us and say, I want to gift a female veteran with a ticket to attend. And we'll give you the link for that, and you can do that. And that's a great way to support. I mean, $100, you probably spend that in 5 coffees at Starbucks, right? Because the
Right.
coffees are like $5 or $6.
And that's not
So
gonna
are
change your life, but sponsoring somebody could change their life.
it is impactful. And I want to mention 3 young women veterans who have gone through our program that have just been tremendous. Kelly is an artist that we worked with, and she actually, if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, Ira, it will show her artwork. She started, or might need to go up a little bit. It's the Combat Boots to Heels.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right here.
Right there. So she started drawing this picture called The Transition, and it became very popular. And so she was able to make a business out of this. Of course, she's a tremendous artist, and it's hanging in one of the museums in Washington, D.C. And so we helped her copyright it, and she allows us to use it. But that's Kelly, who came out of the military. We love her. We also have Ava, who has her PhD. She's a victim advocate for people. She also has a horse farm, and she's a yoga instructor. And she's just a tremendous woman as well. And then we have Leanne, who is still in the reserves, but she's part owner in a wine company or winery, excuse me. And all of these women went through our Combat Boots to Heels program. And our biggest thing was that we want to help them find their passion to go into what they really love to do, because very often people just redirect veterans to go back into a government job.
Yeah.
And what we're doing is we're saying, no, let's help you find that passion, and we'll help guide you on that path. And so that's what this is all about. But we also have a program called Slippers to Stilettos, which is for our civilian women who may be transitioning in any type of life. Maybe they lost, a husband an illness. Maybe they're getting divorced. Maybe they've just decided to change industries after 20 years. But we have that program as well. And same thing again, it's just to support and guide them. And these programs are no cost for the women's. That's part of what we
Yeah.
use.
So you can donate to help with that cause. Now,
Mhm.
I want to talk about, because I know time is short. We got just like 8 minutes left until you've got to jump off. But I want to talk about the opportunity for my corporate visitors here. Okay,
Yeah.
there's some people that own businesses of
Mhm.
various degrees, right? Big
Yeah.
ones, small ones, all kinds.
Yeah.
So there's opportunities for you to support this and get some. You mentioned the word ROI, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
with the
absolutely.
investment comes some different things. So I just want to talk about that real fast, if you don't mind. I know it can be
Yeah.
awkward sometimes to talk about sponsorship, but
Oh,
um,
I own a
we talk about
nonprofit. It's not
sponsor.
awkward at all.
All right. So there are a few different levels here. I see
Mhm.
a 2,000, a 5,000, a 10,000, and a 20,000. Now, I want to say something. I don't want to put egg on anybody's face, but you had a $20,000 sponsorship lined up. Unfortunately, stuff happens and they had to
Mhm.
back out. So
Mhm.
there is a need for like a title sponsor, right? So
Yeah.
if somebody
Yeah,
out there, you've got an enterprise business, you've got a medium sized, business, you're doing really well, and you're looking for ways to invest so that you don't have to, you can lessen your tax burden,
mhm,
right? You're looking for a place and also to make obviously a huge impact.
mhm.
Anybody
Yeah.
out there is watching. I don't want to necessarily harp on the dollar amounts, but there's all kinds of things that are included, and you can read this. It's very
Mhm.
simple. Go to the
Mhm.
link that I shared. That is on the
Mhm.
wgwbook.com/she-talks, and
Mhm.
then go down to the sponsor, click this tab. It'll take you to where we are right here.
Mhm.
And it'll
Yeah.
go through the different options from being a big gift bag sponsor, which I need to do 80 bags. And then what you need is, or what they get for
Mhm.
that would be included.
Mhm.
Sponsorship levels again at 2,000 to 20,000. So I
Mhm.
just want to mention, if you're watching and you're
Yeah.
fired up, you're like, hey, this
Yeah.
sounds awesome. I really can't show up. Just sponsoring one or two people doesn't sound like the impact that I want
Mhm.
to have. I want to make a bigger impact. Well, this
Mhm.
is one of the ways that they can do it. So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We would love that partnership with you, and we take you as a sponsor throughout the year. It's not like we use you at this one event and we dump you. We will promote you throughout the year. We have a lot
I
of
will also promote them just
yeah.
so they know, like, this is a value add that Julie likes. But I
Mhm.
take the photos of people and I post. And typically when I do that, I also give your company a shout out in the posts, just
Mhm.
as you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think people forget about the power of social media. Well, who is Ira Bowman? Well, I have 500,000 followers online, just a few, you
And
know.
Rhonda Swan, my partner here, I mean, she's got 1,000,000 plus. I don't know the
Yeah,
whole number, but, and she owns a branding agency, the Unstoppable Branding. So she's fantastic. They have a magazine coming out. I mean, they're just really great at what they do. And then, of course, you have also all of our speakers here who many of them have huge followings as well. And yeah, I mean, what it comes down to is, someone asked me the other day these couple questions to sponsors. They said, how can a sponsor make an impact, right? Well, when we don't have to pay for location costs and all the things that come with it, we can put that ticket money to the women veterans.
yep.
And then when that woman veteran, for example, called me the other day and said, I don't have money for food or diapers or formula for my baby, I just left and went and bought it all for her and brought it to her. And
Wow.
that's what we did. There was no questions, there was no whatever it was. We have money from those sponsors and we went and took care of her for a good month, and then we were looking to help her out with apartment things. So that's where your money is going. So if you want to know, how do I impact someone, that's one way. These events have helped women reconsider suicide, given them paths, opportunities, and even job openings because of the people they meet here. So when someone says, well, what's my impact? That's your impact. And I hope people know, sometimes we don't see impact immediately. Sometimes that impact comes back 3 years later and says, I want you to know I attended this and it changed my life.
Yeah.
And so, that's what your impact can do. And if you have that ability, if you're blessed with an excess amount of money, then we would
And
love for
y
you to
and
bless
you
us.
don't wanna pay taxes, because who does, right? Like, this is a way
Right?
that
I'd rather
I'd rather write a check to you as a sponsor than to write it to Uncle Sam as a tax bill.
Yep, yep, same thing. So, and you guys, I'm on LinkedIn, Dr. Julie Ducharme. You can message me with any questions. I'm always happy to jump on a call. I will
Okay.
talk to anyone and everyone and go and dig deeper. We're fully transparent, so you can always ask us about anything about the nonprofit, and we will provide it for you, hands down. on that.
I'm gonna be making posts about this, and obviously I'm gonna tag you, and I'm gonna have the website and all that stuff. Over the next couple weeks, some of you might get a little wore out from me advertising this thing, but I'm gonna do my best to help increase the visibility because I want to make that impact too, right? I want to help. So,
Yeah,
Dr.
absolutely.
Julie Ducharme, it has been amazing, of
Thank
course.
you so
Having you
much.
on. Is there anything that we missed? We got 3 minutes or so left. I mean, it's not a hard stop, but I mean, if you want to share anything,
Well,
45 minutes. Somebody had asked me, "Hey, what is it that we're even talking about?" He jumped on late, obviously, and then in full disclosure, my mom just like, "Hey, it's been interesting to listen in the conversation with you and Julie. I hope this event will be successful because the cause is so worthwhile." Absolutely. Or Robin, that's Mama, she says to
Hey,
me.
Mom.
So if one of the things is Lizzie is going to this event and she's going to
Yeah,
be, helping assist shoot. She's my second shooter. And so she's going to get impacted greatly by getting to meet your daughter. Our
yeah.
children haven't met yet.
Yeah, and they need to.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm excited about that.
The last thing I just thought of this, we always need volunteers. So if you would like to volunteer for the event, we definitely
Yeah,
have a need for probably a good 5 or 6 more people helping in a variety of areas. So if you're interested in volunteering, we would love to hear from you. And obviously that allows you to get into the event at no cost because we don't charge our volunteers
right.
to volunteer.
Hey, buy
So
a ticket so you can check people in. Yeah,
yeah.
no, we don't do
Yeah,
that.
no, we would never do that. And so if you're thinking, "Hey, I'm gonna be in the neighborhood, I'd really love to volunteer," reach out to me. Once again, you can catch me on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Ira's got all my information. You can message him too.
Yeah,
Um,
so one more time, the date of this is Saturday, June 17th.
mhm.
The event is it downtown LA?
It's actually Huntington Beach, which I've been told by LA people that's not LA.
Well,
So Huntington Beach at the Huntington Club Golf Course, which is a beautiful location. And I'm hoping in June that we're going to have some really lovely weather in Huntington Beach. And we're going to be right by the beach. So what better than if you are coming from out of town, it's a fun little vacay right there in Huntington Beach with all of that.
okay. So, one thing that keeps driving me nuts, I keep hitting the homepage and it keeps taking me back, not to the event home, but to the
Oh,
actual.
yeah,
Uh,
the other one.
oh well. I'm excited about it. I mean, there's so much good stuff happening. Again, we're gonna be posting. Julie's gonna be posting about it. I'm gonna be posting about it. A lot of other people are gonna be posting about it. If you have questions that we didn't answer today on this live, by all means, don't be shy. We want to answer your questions. Here's another way you can help, y'all. This is a great way that you can help. Take the link to this event that we've shared a couple times now in the comments. Please share it out. Take
Mhm.
my post that I post about it. I think Julie, every 5 minutes on Instagram, I see another little GIF animation from your team that goes out about this,
Probably.
right? So
They're
you
in
can take
hyper mode, so yeah,
y'all can take
probably.
any of these contents and
Yeah.
share them. Like that doesn't cost anything. That's just a little extra time. Even your comments on the post help to feed the algorithm, so it increases
Mhm.
the visibility. So there are so many ways that you can participate. I want to thank everybody for even just joining in, tuning in, whether
Thank
you
you.
watched us live on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, whether you're watching it after the fact because you didn't know I was going live because I didn't announce I was going live. I literally was on them. Look, I'm fat, y'all. I'm overweight. So I was out on a walk and I called my friend Julie because we're like that. I just call her. I mean, I don't sometimes I text her and ask her if she has time, but frankly, she never responds. So I just call her. So, anyways,
I'm on a call.
I called her and I said, "Hey, what's your schedule like right now? Do you have a minute? We could just jump on live because I want to help. I really do. I'm all in this veterans and women and just what you're doing to help make a difference. I so respect you. My family, my wife and I both, we respect you to pieces and everything that you're doing. And I love Josh.
Oh, thank you.
Like
He
my other
loves you too.
yeah, he's like because we're so similar. It's weird to meet another nerd that's like, oh, we can nerd out together. Anyhow, all right. Well, Dr. Julie Ducharme, it's always a pleasure. It's weird for me to say your full name, by the way, because I
Yeah,
just
you don't have to. I mean, but I just put it on there because I get my colleagues all the time tell me, you need to put your full name on there.
no, absolutely.
Oh,
And look, you earned that doctorate. I don't want to be disrespectful of that. Like, it is what it is. So you know, it's
That's
just because I love you
awesome.
so much. But
Aw,
anyways, all right,
thank you so
y'all.
much.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
please. It's called Women Gone Wild Wealth Book Launch and SheTalks event.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the full
Yep, you
name.
got
It's a
it.
long red carpet event. I missed the red carpet part. I know I'm missing something here, but the red carpet part's my part. Like I'm gonna be out there clicking, right? So,
Yeah.
if you have never had your picture taken by Ira and you buy the VIP ticket, you'll get it. And look, if I know you and I've taken the photos, you can actually ask me. I had this at the TEDx event. Somebody just reached out to me. It's our friend Catherine Contos in Canada. She goes, "Hey, can I get a copy of that without your logos and stuff? And can you make it the site?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." You know what I mean? So I'm willing to do that. I do that all the time. Like if we're friends, we're friends. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
if you want to have your picture taken by me, you want to support this, and you're looking for like a headshot for your LinkedIn or for your website or whatever, like while we're there, I'll do it for you. No problem.
Yeah, I might be in the background doing bunny ears. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'll Photoshop her in. I've got it. All right. Well, we're gonna hop off. Thank you again, everybody, for watching. Look, when you get this connection request, Dr. Julie, this is one of my former interns. I love
Yeah.
her. Like
Message
she's a
me,
rock
Sabrina.
star. I would
Yeah.
love for you to connect. I'll tell you what I'll do is I'm gonna set up Sabrina. I'm gonna set up a little chat just between the three of us, just so you guys don't have to search for each other. I'll make it real easy.
Awesome.
Okay.
Sounds
Cool.
good.
All right, y'all. Thank you for
Thank
tuning
you.
in. Have a great day. Support us if you can. Again, you can do it monetarily. You can help just by sharing the post. You can sponsor somebody who could come. And if you have a business and you're looking for sponsorship ways, to invest in sponsorship dollars, we would love to help replace the person's company that had to back out. And there's not a lot of time. This happens Saturday, June 17th. So we need your help. Thank you for watching, Dr. Julie. See you later.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.